The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's a Tuesday. That's why we have with us award-winning psychologist Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room with us. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, and I'm so excited. My setup is very different today.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little guest and the mummy coming in later on. They're
Nice.
on their way.
How
Nice.
old is this little guest?
He's not very little. He's 12.
He's 12, okay. No
well, you
worries.
said little guest. Anyway,
Well, I saw him since he was 4 years old.
I see.
Wow.
Okay, and today we're going to be talking about ASD. What is ASD?
Autistic spectrum disorder. So people refer to it as autism. So ASD is autistic spectrum disorder. Is a spectrum. So there are different levels of disorder or severity rather. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to ask, if there's this spectrum, obviously it goes from mild to acute, I guess. How do we pick up on the mild? It can't be very noticeable.
So there is like I said, there is a spectrum. So how does it look like? You would be able to spot it because of the social interactions. So they're not very good with social interactions. Sometimes motor skills issue are highly sensorial. So they can be hypersensorial or hyposensorial. They like touch or they don't like touch at all. Behaviorally, for those that are very obvious, would be that they have repetitive movement or repetitive behavior and very rigid sort of thinking. Some of them have very strong verbal skills. Some of them have maybe non-verbal, so they cannot express themselves. So for the higher functioning ones, which are the Asperger's, high intelligence, they are very articulate, but you can see that sometimes, social skills are not that great, or the emotional awareness is quite poor.
Okay, so Asperger's is also part of ASD.
ASD, yes. Yes,
Okay.
but our young boy does not have Asperger's. He is on the middle part of the ASD.
Okay.
Okay. And what is Asperger's again? Very very quickly. I mean, what kind of symptoms?
Asperger's are the higher functioning ones. They are very articulate, very high IQ. They seem to be able to conduct themselves very well even in one-on-one situations, in
I see.
group situations. However, they may be a bit awkward, or they may be unaware of certain social cues. Poorer motor skills also, we might see that. Very rigid sort of thinking. So you might get into an argument with one of them because they have very, very rigid thinking.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on The Big Show TV.
Jerry, I've noticed, not that I know a whole lot of people who have people suffering from ASD in their families, but I know a couple, and they seem to be incredibly artistic. Their whole expression is through art. They can express anger, happiness, joy, frustration. They express everything through art. And the pieces are absolutely amazing. Is this
Yes.
a common thing?
No, it's not a common thing. So a lot of times we take one thing and we generalize. So not every autistic person is a savant or are very, very creative. All have their preferences. So some of them have very good memory. So one of the little boys that I see can memorize the subway. So the MRT in Singapore, every single MRT station, can remember the ones in Malaysia, Japan, London.
Wow.
It's like a walking encyclopedia.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yep. But not all of them are gifted with one specific skill. Some of them are, but they are just like you and me. They have preferences also. But because they have they can focus very well in the areas that they like, they tend to do very well in the areas that they like.
So a person with autism, say, comes to you as a child. Is this an ongoing relationship you have with them that'll last 10, 15 years? Or is there a point where they stop coming?
I love it when FD asks the questions. You're always for the people.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a journey that we have not only with the child, but also with the parent, because the child goes through learnings and changes. And there's the developmental cycle. That means the child is a toddler, the child in primary school, the child in secondary school, and in young adulthood will have different sort of challenges. And their challenges don't come at the average age that most of the other children have, like for example the teen, where they have a boy-girl relationship, or relationship with relationship issues rather. It may not be during the teen years. It may be during like the early late teens, early adulthood.
And would you help them through those relationships? Or do they
work through, we help the parents, or we alert the parents, or the parents will come to us, and we can work with the teen or the parent or the child.
Wow. Because that to me has always been interesting, because it must be very, it must be stressful on a parent when this whole relationship issue comes into play. Because there are all kinds of worries, of course, because so many things can trigger reactions in someone with autism.
Definitely. And you might not know it because they cannot articulate to us as well as the mainstream or neurotypical child can. Actually, our neurotypical children or teens don't share with us very much anyways, worse if they don't express, you see.
So these days, is it politically correct to use the word autism, or should we say ASD?
Oh, ASD is a diagnosis. That means we diagnose with ASD, autistic spectrum disorder.
Excuse me. Okay, so it's still correct to use the word autistic.
Autism. Well,
autism.
Kids love to school.
Autism, but the person with autism is autistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it is okay. But I know so many children who know of this term and go up to their friend and say, "You're autistic." Please don't do that, lah.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask that. With kids,
but a child won't know. That's the thing. You see,
this is my point. So you get a kid, like for example, you were saying you started treating this young patient of yours from what, 3, 4, correct?
Oh, can you hear us? Oh, now she can't hear us.
I think I lost you.
Okay,
let's see if we can get Jerry back.
It's fine. I mean, we're off air.
Yeah.
We're going back on air, but
yeah,
we can't hear you now.
Can't hear you, Jerry.
You got to go out and then come back in.
Go out, come back.
Go out, come back in. We can't hear you.
Just send her a text.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just summarize what we've been talking about.
Because it's so. You see, the question I wanted to ask Jerry. Okay, we'll do this, and hopefully we'll have Jerry back by the time we come back.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. And this morning we're talking about autism, ASD, or Autistic Spectrum Disorder. We were talking about Asperger's earlier on. And then we got to the point where, I asked her the question, is it politically correct to use the word autistic? And she said, yes.
It is, yeah.
And then she also said that some kids. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yes.
We've got Dr. Geraldine Tan and we've got Ashwin. Good morning.
Good morning, Ashwin.
Hi. Oh, no mic?
He
No
doesn't
mic?
want to use the mic.
I don't want a mic.
You don't.
You don't want a mic? Okay, that's fine. We can still hear
But
you.
we can't.
Okay.
But,
you want
but
to sit closer to Auntie Jerry? And then Mommy can sit with us. How about that?
Yeah.
Mommy can sit close to you.
No. Okay.
No? No?
No. No.
He doesn't want Mommy. He just wants to be by himself.
Okay, Jerry,
That's cool.
introduce Ashwin to us, because you know you're good
himself.
friends. You're good friends with Ashwin, and have been a good friend to Ashwin for how many years now?
How many years Auntie Jerry know you? 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
8 years.
Wow,
8 years.
very
Ashwin,
nice.
do you want to introduce yourself? No mic. Okay, Auntie Jerry, put close to me. You introduce yourself.
Yeah.
My name is.
My name is Ashwin without a cap. I got J on the cap.
All right.
How old are you?
I'm 12-year-old with a cap.
Cool.
Which school do you go to?
I go to function,
Okay, and what does Ashwin like?
but rubber bands on my hat here, and that can stick on my hat.
That's nice. Hey, Ashwin, what do you like studying in school? What's your favorite subject?
Science.
Science.
Oh,
Wow.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
This one we did yesterday.
Be a police.
A priest?
A police.
Police. He wants to join the
Oh,
police.
I thought you want. I thought you want to be a priest. Okay.
And become the homeless delinquent and spend the rest of their life in jail. Their life.
Okay.
Okay.
He doesn't want people to be a delinquent
Yeah.
and spend the rest of their life in jail.
Right.
As a policeman, he wants to help everybody. That's so nice.
Police.
Okay. All right. Let's continue to talk to Ashwin and Jerry on the Big Show TV. It's 8:13.
Can we come in now? Can
Ashwin's
we come in now?
happy.
He's a very happy boy.
I like
He's-
I like your cap, Ashwin.
He's totally enjoying the
Where is it
experience.
from?
A for
A
Ashwin.
for Ashwin. Ashwin, do you have any hobbies?
Can you hear us? Jerry, can you hear us? Oh, we got cut again.
Got cut again. What a pity. Ashwin is such a lovely boy.
I thought I heard him say priest.
I thought it was priest first. Then I
Yeah.
said, no, it's probably police because, yeah. You know. But he's such a lovely boy. Really nice.
Been seeing Jerry for 8 years.
8 years.
Huh? Wow.
I'd love to know what hobbies he does and, you know, what stimulates him. Be quite interesting to find out.
I want to know if he plays any sports.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping his hobbies
There,
will be...
Ashwin.
you're back.
Okay, Ashwin can hear
Ashwin.
us already. Ashwin, do you play any sports or not?
Yes.
What do you like to play?
Football, and I got soccer challenge.
Yes,
Wow.
all right. My
And
boy.
I got golf ball.
Oh,
Golf.
you like to play golf as well?
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't know this.
And I play bat.
Baseball.
Baseball. Wow. So you do a lot of sports. Do you have a favorite football team?
So,
Let me think.
Everton.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. He's my boy. He's my boy. He's my boy. Well done.
Liverpool.
Ashwin,
Okay.
can we speak to mommy for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. You up for a while?
You can sit here.
You want to sit with Mommy? Come.
Hi, Lilian. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a huge fan of you guys.
Oh, thanks.
So
Thank you.
It's really nice to be here this morning.
He is such a wonderful boy.
He is. He is.
Such a
He's
wonderful boy.
joy.
Tell me, what are some of the joys bringing up a boy like Ashwin? What are some of the joys?
I think it's just watching him overcome his challenges and watching the milestones that he gets through every time. especially when one of the biggest challenges is actually communicating.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You can't imagine. When people say, "Oh, you want to hear the child say mommy," and usually they do it about what, 2 or 3. I could only hear that at 7, and that
Wow.
was
Oops. Lost you again.
Oh. Okay, Jerry, we can't
We can't hear you again. But can you imagine what that's like as a mother? You wait till 7
Yeah.
for your child to say, "Mommy." That's wow. That for me is tough. That is so tough.
But look at her. I mean, I'm sure Lilian is stronger for it now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she is. I do want to ask her, whether she's had problems with inclusivity in school with Ashwin, though.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
My guess
and,
is.
and how she dealt with it. I think that's important. How did she deal with it?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I don't know what the mic is doing today or what the sound is doing today. It's just crazy. I think
Okay.
it's got me excited also.
So Lilian, we asked you about the joys of bringing him up, and you were talking about those first words, the word "mummy" that you didn't hear until 7. What else do you want to tell us?
I think him teaching me to slow down. So I'm the kind of person that I always want to get things done. I'm always on the move. But when he tells you, "Mommy, slow down," whether it's walking or just eating, sitting at a coffee shop, I think that's amazing. That he knows that that is something that is the joy of life.
Right.
So it's really important that he's taught me.
Right. And how is he doing in school?
Yeah, he's enjoying school. I think there are certain challenges with children with autism, especially with social skills. But the amazing thing is the school, the friends have come to embrace him the way he is.
Were there any inclusivity problems?
Any what problem?
Inclusivity problems.
Initially, yes, because people don't understand and they don't know why he doesn't really talk and he doesn't communicate the same way his peers do. But I think over time, the non-verbal communication is just as important, and they've come to realize that.
Okay.
And yeah, he may not talk to them a lot, but just being around them and fist bumps, high fives, they sort of figured out these are some non-verbal ways that they can communicate with him.
Right, right.
And it's a thing, after school they say bye to him and all that. So I think the kids learn a lot.
We just did a story yesterday on how so many of us end up with our best friends, and these are friends that we developed in school. Has he got a best friend in school? Do you know?
I don't think so, but he does have a few friends who look up for him. So and then they'll tell me, "Mom, Auntie Lilian, today he did this. It's kind of cute. I know they are sort of telling on him, but it's kind of their way of telling me they care for him. And they look up for him.
Yeah.
What's a typical day like for you and Ashwin?
A school day or a weekend?
A school day and a weekend. Yeah, I can imagine like the weekend. The weekends, are a lot of fun for you guys.
Okay, let's talk about typical school days. So
School day.
He goes to school, and then he'll have certain places that he wants to eat at. So there's a certain routine because they thrive on a certain structure, on certain things that they want to do every day. So it's lunch and then it's playtime and a little bit of revision. A typical kid in a primary school. And in the evenings, when the father comes back, okay, that's Toy Story, his favorite. And the evening is really just family time, really just interacting with the family, just doing his he loves taking pictures on the iPhone. He's got an amazing collection of photos.
So he enjoys his photography.
Yeah, he does. He has very keen eye for details, and that's the strength of some of these kids.
Wow.
They look at things very differently. You look at a photo, it's very different how they take the picture.
Right. So interesting. This is.
And what about a typical day over the weekend?
He goes for enrichment classes like art. Sometimes he goes for art classes, or he goes for capoeira. So he does that. He's been doing that since he was 5.
Wow.
Capoeira.
Yes, it's a beautiful sport. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it teaches. It's taught him a lot actually: discipline, resilience, and lining up. So those are some things. Some social things that he actually learns through sport, which is interesting.
Wow. So Jerry, just going back to Jerry for a bit.
Yes.
How from the time you started seeing him, how do you gauge the progression? His progression.
Like what Lilian said, right? First he was non-verbal, and because he was non-verbal, many things he is frustrated with. We cannot understand him. So the first thing we wanted to do was to get him verbal, and also get his skills up to speed. So that means a lot of thoughts was put in place for him.
Okay,
So
Jerry,
now
we're gonna go on the radio once again, and FD will ask you that question. Okay, but I need you to hold the mic up to your mouth because right now it's very echoey. So later when Lilian is talking as well, can you put the mic to basically to Lilian's mouth? Okay.
Okay.
Stand by. And welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room, and she has a couple of guests with her, Lilian as well as Ashwin. Right now on the screen, if you're watching us on The Big Show TV, we have Ashwin's mom, Lilian. Good morning, Lilian.
Morning. Hi, everyone.
Jerry.
Come to the video. Remember on the screen? Okay.
Okay, so Jerry, I was asking you. You've been in this relationship with Ashwin for a while. What are some of the milestones you've gone through, or he has gone through?
Yeah, when he was 4, I think he was non-verbal, completely non-verbal, as you heard what Lilian said, right? So we needed to have him learn, and it was a very slow and painful progress. But he did, and I think it was very touching when he started to call Mama. Yeah, so from there, and then being able to follow through with instructions. Remember that when we give instructions, it's of this world, it's not of their world. So for him to understand what we are doing took another process. And I think in school we had to also work with the teachers. I think Lilian was really good. We worked with the school as a team. Team means parents, teachers, and the therapists coming in, to help the child to understand what he is limited in, and to then support him and not label the child, because it's so easy to look at the child and say you're lazy, you're disruptive, you're naughty, without really comprehending the limitations or the behaviors, why he's doing certain behaviors.
So that's interesting. With those limitations and the naughtiness that naturally comes in, I mean, he's a child. The mischievousness that will be there, he's a child. How does one discipline a child with Ashwin's condition?
Lilian.
Wow, Lilian!
Let me give that a shot. I think we were very deliberate to tell them not to punish him because he does not understand what the punishment means. So more of explaining to him or asking him, so you did this and this is not right, or it's not cool. So in his case, because there were limitations in understanding the language, so we had to use words like cool. So it's not cool, so you can't do this again.
Are these the same rules you're using now?
Yes. Of course, now he's able to comprehend much better, so we could use just regular words. But sometimes when he gets really upset, then you have to go back to no, it's not cool.
Okay.
So that gets the message straight across, because sometimes it's about making the language simple, and not having to explain too many things. That's how they understand things better.
Now, Lilian, just very quickly, I mean, what kind of advice would you have for parents who are in your situation, but may not necessarily be handling it very well right now?
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat that question?
What advice would you have for parents? All right, for parents who are currently in a similar situation as yourself, but who might not be handling the situation as well as you are.
Okay, so a couple of things. Seek advice from professionals. Work closely with therapists. And be involved, not just leaving everything to the therapist. So when we worked with the speech therapist, for example, I had to learn what are some ways I can communicate with him at home. What are some different ways to engage him? So that's one, working with professionals. I think two is not giving up and really just keep trying and journey with the child. Because it is a journey, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. You can't expect to just go for a session and expect, why is it after 6 months it doesn't work? It took him two years of speech therapy to really speak. And so believing in the child, because we are our child's advocate. I think that's the key thing. Parents feel tired after a while and then they just want to give up. Okay, third thing, one last thing, self-care. Because it is a tough journey. There are lots of ups and downs, more downs sometimes than the initial part of it, but you get over those bumps and then it becomes a little easier, but then there are bumps that comes back in. It's like any typical parenting journey. So self-care, so that you're not going to burn out before you reach a certain place. So I think that's important.
That's great advice.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Lilian, and thank you, Ashwin, for joining us today. Thank you very much, Jerry, as well.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll go back on the Big Show TV. But thank you so much for being with us on the show today. We've been speaking to Dr. Geraldine Tan and Lilian, the mother of Ashwin, right here on the Big Show.
Go big or go home. Wake up, turn up.
Yeah, that was good.
Very interesting, Jerry. We've stimulated.
I'm so sorry about the mic. I'm not sure what happened.
The mic is not even connected.
Yeah, I think.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. So it's. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If not, we would have loved to continue this session for another 10, 15 minutes. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
quite
sorry
work.
about that.
No.
worries. No worries.
Out.
No worries.
It's okay. It's
But
all right.
we've got some. A good idea, Jerry, would be for you to go to our Facebook page. There's some lovely comments on our Facebook page you might want to read later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Any last words?
Oh, we're still on air. Yes, that's true on Big Show TV. I think, just like what Lilian says, to work with the therapist, trust your therapist, but most of all for each and every parent to trust yourself, because you are the expert of your children. No matter which expert comes in, they are only the expert of the subject matter that they are dealing with, not of your child. So you know your child, you're good enough, a parent, and you're great enough for them. So that's what I want to share with all the parents.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.